All right, welcome back. We're on the Watchdogs at noon, another Saturday on the Our Black Media Network. So, how are you this morning, Taylor, or afternoon?
I'm good. How about you?
All is well. All is well. What we will do today is a shorter, abbreviated version of the Watchdogs. Both of the other co-hosts had obligations that were unforeseen, and so we won't do the part two of the discussion that we had last week. But what I wanted to do was highlight the Gullah Geechie Grand Ball that is hosted by Two Chef Restaurant. But also, while we're doing that, is to highlight the restaurant itself. And so, Taylor, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got to where you are with the restaurant, and a little bit of some of your challenges along that way.
Mm. Hello, everyone. I am Taylor Washington, the co-owner of Two Chefs Gullah Geechee Soul Food Restaurant here in Savannah. Um, Two Chefs is a restaurant that um, was birthed in me. To be honest, my grandmother raised me, so a lot of the recipes and stuff that I have here at Two Chefs, it stems from her. But the actual name Two Chefs was birthed between my husband and I, because he's the other owner. When we were in culinary school, and that's when we decided at that time that we were going to do it together. Um, But with that being said, my grandmother always wanted to have a restaurant. Unfortunately, due to resources at that time, she wasn't able to. So what she did was she took her gift and she gave it back to the community. Cooking for functions, family functions, church functions, wherever she could have lent her hand, she did. And as you know, because she raised me, I was a part of that. I was able to partake in some of the stuff that she did for the community and the secrets of her recipes. So didn't know that um, when my grandmother got on her sick bed that I would be transformed is the word that I like to use into loving cooking is as much as she did. Of course, I had my family. Grandmama, we didn't have to cook. Everybody ended up over to Granny's house. To me, she was mom.
Right.
So when she got sick, I had to take that role. But then when I took that role, I realized how much love uh, that I had for cooking and the love that I got back from my family and others who um, were eating my food. So that made me feel good, when you get that response from people, oh man, that was so good, da 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 da. So I started Tailor Made Catering in 2006. Um, Pretty much took the role of my grandmother, helping with the community, cooking for church functions and etc. But then I hit a block wall there, and that block wall was because um, I had needed to learn the art of cooking. Um, so that's when I kind of threw it under the bus. I was like, "Nah, I'm not going back to school." I was tired. I didn't want to go back to school. At the time, I was an entrepreneur. I had my own courier business, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not about to do that. I'm not going back to school." So I just kind of like put it to the side, and still cook for my family and family functions and stuff like that. If someone came and asked me to fix something, I did. But then hard times came, challenges where me and my family, we lost everything. We became homeless, and I needed a new direction. Um, and I asked, and I was like, okay, God, I need a sign. I need to know where I need to go. And he said, wait, he didn't say anything. I was watching TV at the time, and a commercial came on for Virginia College. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to school. So I changed the station. And the very same commercial that was on the prior station was on now. And I said, okay, I got it. I got it. I see,
Right.
I got it. So I got up and
Mhm.
I called the school and I was in the last week of registration.
Wow.
Right. That's just how much
Wow.
push
That's
it was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
last week. So I went and I registered, and then my husband was like, "I'm going with you.
Oh
We're gonna
wow.
do this together." So we both went to Culinary, which was inside Virginia College, and we made such an impact. We held a 4.0, the whole entire program. We graduated summa cum laude. We were awarded from the Tourism Leadership Council here in Savannah for a scholarship. We both did. We've been in the magazine for the best apple pie. I mean,
Wow.
I can go on and on and on, but then come from the scholarship that the tourism leadership gave us, we were able to that helped us open our very first location, which was on Bay Street,
Amazing.
in the Woodville area, and it was a takeout. Didn't last very long, uh, not because people didn't patronize us. They started doing road work,
Yeah.
which created challenges for the people to get to us. And we don't like challenges, especially when it's time to eat. You got to fight to get to some place. You're gonna take the
Party.
easier work, right? So we
Hmm.
shut down, and I was riding one day and I found this location here that was available, which was my grandmother's dream to always be on MLK.
Wow.
Um, and that was 5 years ago. We still hanging in there amongst a lot of challenges. Um, but that's pretty much how it all began into present.
Wow.
How
So Chandra
is
McKeithen just joined us. She's one of our guest commentators, and I think Julius is about to promote her to be a full-time commentator. But
I
Chandra, this
say,
is Taylor Washington.
how you
Hi, Miss
doing?
Washington. Congratulations on hanging in there for 5 years. I'm a small business consultant, so that's phenomenal. But
Thank
I
you.
wanted to ask you a question. What
Hmm.
would you say would be some of your biggest challenges? Even I know that one of your challenges was the barrier that you had in having to move. But what would you say has been some of your other challenges since moving, as a small business owner in the city of Savannah? What has been some of your other challenges?
Well, resources is always number one. Being a black owned business, period. Um, Resources are very challenging for us to obtain. Um, and then also the other greater challenges, because these two sorry for that noise, kind of sit um, next to each other. Khalil, could you tell him to turn it off, please? Kind of sit um, next to each other, and that's the support of the community. Um, and that if we had the support of the community, um, it would be a whole lot better and not so hard versus fighting against the wave. You know what I'm saying? So um, at that time, we had to find our market. We had to find other ways to pull people who are not in the community to the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to survive, because if we had to completely rely on the community to survive, we wouldn't be here.
What's your cuisine?
It's Gullah Geechee.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, it's Gullah Geechee. One of the hottest movement right now that's going on. Um,
Yes, all over
you
the
know,
nation, actually. I mean,
right,
I'm
right.
I'm here in Houston, and
Mm-hmm.
I cook like my family is Gullah Geechee, and I cook a lot of Gullah Geechee food, and these people they don't know anything
I'm
about
on
it,
that side.
you know. So when I
Mm-hmm.
say, have you ever had seafood pie or something like that? They're like, what is that? What is red rice?
Right.
What
Right,
you know, so they
right.
don't know that type of stuff. But
No.
when you're saying resources, I'm supposing you're talking about financial resources, right?
Right. You know,
Okay.
resources, help from the city, you know, being well, we typically
A
not
minority
minority.
business. You
Yeah,
are a
but
minority business. I
right.
mean, if you and your husband own it, you know, you're 100% minority owned because
I
it's
share.
women owned and black owned. There you go.
Right.
Both sides.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so my question, you know, I have questions.
Go for it.
Um,
I'm glad you have questions.
you know, uh, what have you reached out to the SBA?
I've done all of that. And then, you know,
That's
they put so many steps and
stipulations.
Right.
right, you know what I'm saying? So me and my husband just kind of came to the conclusion we're just gonna stand on faith and believe that all is well, and it has been. You know, sometimes we we kind of rebuttal or we um get angry about the way things go, but that was the plan. You know what
Mm,
I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because
mm,
maybe my ancestors don't want them involved in what we got going on. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah,
because that would involve them. That would cause dictatorship. That would cause them to somewhat control how you operate.
yes. Well, yes, yes. I agree, but then I want to just say to the public that's watching
Mm,
that, you know, the Small Business Association, they they're a federally funded, you know, agency
Correct.
that that function under the guise of we help small businesses. But
Hmm.
every, you know, I talk to so many people every day, especially black owned businesses, that say, yes, I've gone to the SBA and, you know, I talk, you know, they put me in touch with SCORE and this is the reason why I'm bringing this up,
right, right.
because I want to highlight the hypocrisy
No,
in
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
in these agencies that's supposed to be here to help these businesses. Because when you have a business like Mrs. Taylor's business that has been in business for 5 years,
Hmm.
she should be turning not only a great profit by now, but she should be getting every support that's out there, you know, finances and all, because there is money set aside for not only small businesses but for minority businesses.
Hmm.
But it's the lie, you know, because they have the carrot, and this is the carrot, and they tout this carrot in front of us saying, oh yes, you know, we have money for minority businesses. But when you go, they don't tell the story of all of the rejections that they give, and all of the, okay, yeah, you did this, but now we need you to do this, and we need you to do this, and so when they put up all of the red tape and bureaucracy, that and when you're going through, you know, you want me to fill out 100,000 pages of what
Hmm.
to get $20,000 for
Okay,
it?
that's
And
right.
and
And if
I don't have, and a lot of small businesses don't have the resources to invest, because if Miss Taylor is cooking, because don't you cook?
Yes,
It,
ma'am.
so if she is cooking, she does not have time to do a lot of administrative work,
That's
you
right.
know, behind the scenes, and this is how they get them. And I mean, so you don't provide really a good technical assistance. All you're telling them is, okay, yeah, fill out this, bring it back, and then once they fill out that, then you look it over, and then you say, okay, no.
It's very similar to what goes on with small black contractors in the city as well. As soon as they qualify or they meet the criteria, we move the finish line.
Yes.
And that's why, in certain cities like this one, we don't see our people thrive, right? Because we have our people who are holding our people back.
Yes.
That was a meme I put out the other day by Malcolm X, and he talked about the house Negro and the field Negro. And we operate like that very much now. It's just with other people's money that don't look like us. And so when that carrot now that's dangling in front of these leaders is called a brown bag, right? And so people that suffer are our small businesses, are our communities, are our young people. And so, it's disappointing. But one of the things that I've learned so much from Taylor, because Chandra, she also ran for city council. Taylor really inspired me, and I've always been a very spiritual person, but just the whole idea, and she talks a lot about this, is the ancestral spirits that are around us. We're protected by ancestral spirits. And, that's a very important thing to tap into, because, there are some days, like you said, you want to be angry, but you're like, you know what? I'm covered. I'm anointed. And that's important.
Sometimes we fight for something that is more damage to us than it would be great for us. And I've learned to, I don't get me wrong, I pick my battles, I stand firm in whatever that is I need to stand firm in. But
Mhm.
it's also with the guidance that I have from my ancestors, because I have that communication. You know what I'm saying? So what that means is this building, these two spaces that me and my husband have here on MLK, when I say we are the epitome, the truth of getting it out the mud in this building. Um, and that means our own money that we had. Okay. And no help. You know what I'm saying? Nobody helped us. This was just me and him really grinding. And with that being said, you know, I've with the strength of that and putting this together and building this, you're not really so open to people telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you going to get help, and that help is trying to get you to change your plan or
Mhm.
change your vision or change. You
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, hold up now. You know, this is not the help that I thought you said you were going to do. You know, so those are the things that uh, conversations that you really have when you sitting down with some of those agencies that say they want to help you, like someone want to market you, and stuff like that. And when you sit down, because I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna hear what you got to say, and I'm listening very, very well, because it's the words, it's the way they use certain terms that will let you know they just want to come in and they're gonna take over. My grandma
Mhm.
always used to say, "You give them an inch, they take a mile." So sometimes you have to be like, "Nah, that's all right. You know, I got
Yeah.
this." You
But
know,
but to me, you know, I I back when I was working for, back when I was doing consulting work for the Entrepreneurial Center,
Mhm.
I would tell people, do not get discouraged.
hmm
Don't get discouraged. And also, I believe, I believe in the Bible. I believe in Habakkuk 2:2. write the vision, make it plain, though it tarries, it shall come to pass.
Ashe.
So if God gave you a vision, you write that vision and you make it plain, and you don't vary from it, not one way or the other, because that is the vision that God gave you for what he wanted you to do, just like he gave Moses those commandments,
Right.
And that's what that's the assignment. This has been your assignment. So you take that, when we take what our assignment is to these people that's supposed to be there with the resources to help us, we're supposed to, whereas they have one criteria for the Caucasian and the Asian and the Indian businesses, then they have another criteria for ours. We have to have pristine credit scores and a history and all of this. And how can you have a history if you just start? How can they tell you, well, be in business 3 years and then come back? Well, if I'm using, if I got to use my resources and all of this, tell me how, you want me to come in behind the 8 ball, and barely stay open. You know how it is.
Oh yeah.
You want me to barely stay open by the hair of my chinny chin for 3 or 4 years. And then you may come in and rescue me. That's how they treat our businesses. Whereas when a white business opens, they will give them all of the resources they need up front.
That's right.
To open it up, everything, and the money that they're going to need to pay their employees,
payroll, everything.
Yeah, until they start turning a profit.
That's right.
For at least the first year. Did you know this?
Yes.
So if they say that it's going to cost us 300 and whatever to get this off the ground, they're giving them 400.
There you go. There you go.
But if you come in and you say, hey, it's going to cost us $280,000, and that is just for y'all equipment and supplies and stuff like that. You didn't even take into account your workers and stuff.
Right, inventory and payroll.
Yeah, they're saying, well, we can give you $25,000. Well, what's that gonna do? What is that gonna do for us but give us some debt?
That's it.
That's all it's gonna do.
Aggravation.
All you trying to do is see if we're going to pay the money back. We're gonna pay that $25,000 back, and then you might increase that 25 after 2 years to 50,000. But it's still not going to be what we need. So how are you helping? You're not helping. And this is what we need to be when these administrations, Biden, Trump, Obama, all of them, when all of them are touting, this is what we did for small minority businesses. And no, you didn't.
Well, hold on. I want to slightly disagree, because this becomes a local issue. If the money trickles down from federal to local, and local folk ain't doing what they're supposed to do, as they did with the CARES Act money, that's where the problem is. It ain't got nothing to do with the federal level. It got everything to do with the local administration of the funding that comes down, and specifically, like you said earlier, given to do these things. But because I want to pay off debts to my campaign buddies, that's where the money goes. So let's be real about it. I'm not going to,
Well,
that's what's going on here.
I don't know how they decide or how they allocate or what, but just like I said, it needs to be highlighted. And we need to be saying, hey, something in the math ain't mathing. And Taylor, even though, I know that it seems like, what, I just don't feel, and so many Black businesses have felt, and that's what they bargain on, RG, that you'll just get tired.
Yeah.
And that's how they did us in the voting rights. When they was putting all of those jelly beans in the little bags and saying how many is in the bag and all of this type of stuff, and can you recite the first 6 constitutions and all of this type of stuff? When they're putting up all of these barriers, they were hoping that we would get tired.
Yeah.
And say, okay, I quit. But we cannot get tired, because the people during the civil rights movement, they were making a way for us, and we have to make a way for the next. The reason why these 30-some-year-olds, they're creating their own businesses. They're not even going into corporate America. They said, I don't want to work 30 years for nobody and only come out with nothing to show for it. Let me tell my own self what I'm worth every year, because I don't want to be my parents who they told them, okay, you're only worth $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, and then a lot of our parents, when they died, they were still kind of broke.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so Ivan, you're exactly right. It does come to the state level and then to the local level. But I will say this, and some people are gonna get mad about it, but I trust Brian Kemp to do the right thing more than this mayor.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
And then we have to press our legislators.
Huh?
Our local.
I'm not even gonna put it on them. The money gets to here, to the city. All right, let's just be real about it. The money gets here. It ain't got nothing to do with them. It got everything to do with favors. Period. I mean,
but my thing is that I just don't have the time to fight for that. I have to keep moving, and find the ways, because there are ways. Because our ancestors has proven to us that we don't need them. We don't.
No.
And when they built the Black Wall Street, many of them, they didn't need them, And with that, what I'm saying is that we'll be more powerful if we come collectively together and unify. But until then, I have to keep moving. I can't get distracted by the blockage, because the blockages are there to make you not want to continue your fight. So with that being said, because I have had many investors interested in Two Chef Gullah Geechie Soul Food Restaurant, and like I'm sitting here talking to you all, they want to come in. They want $51.49. I'm like, are you serious?
Mhm.
Do listen, we not fit to play those types of games, man. I mean, Two Chef Gullah Geechee is a brand, and it has built itself. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no one trying to come in now after the hard work has been done to try to take what my ancestor and my husband's ancestor has left us to build foundation for our children. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful with we get involved in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not willing to just hand this over just for money. I'm not willing to do that.
But if you guys, even if y'all had a strong uh what's that thing called downtown? Department of Commerce
Commerce.
for uh black
The Chamber
black
of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce for the black businesses. If y'all had a strong one, they would be the voice. They would be the voice. The Hispanics got a chamber of commerce, and they are definitely speaking up for their uh their
Yeah.
their businesses.
Well,
So
we're gonna put a part two to that because I want to definitely, I get what you're saying, but we want to definitely highlight one of the amazing things that Two Chef Restaurant has contributed to Savannah already. And this is by themselves. And so I want to play the commercial, Taylor, that
Okay.
promo you did from last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Then what I'll
Mm-hmm.
do, hold on, let me see if I can do this here. Can I do it this way? And then what
mhm.
I'll do is just show them the Eventbrite and let you talk about it. So here we go.
Okay.
You can bank on it. You can put 100 grand on it. Anything I said, I stand on it. In a private plane, I land on it. They lay hood and they call me Bankole. Cause I walk around with a bank on me. Show them Gangnam style, put the gang on them. Twist my fingers up and bang on them. Lily who, lily who, lily who. Different type of evil available. And any one of them can kill it.
Make sure you
Anytime,
check this out.
anything can happen. No.
Okay.
Any one of us could have been pops.
All right. Let me get rid of that, and then I'm gonna put the Eventbrite up. But go ahead and tell us about the program, the event. Very educational, but I'll let you kind of do your thing.
Yeah, two chefs. Well, not so much of two chefs. I mean, we are the foundation of the Savannah Chatham Gullah Geechie Grand African Ball here in Savannah, which came about because there are very limited culture events here in Savannah, especially in Black History Month. I mean, we are Black History. We are America's Black History. They just put us in this 1 month. But my point is that
Muito
um,
bem.
we had to um, come up. We came up with something. It was a thought that came to mind, and I reached out to my chief Alakba. Baba Tunde, he is the priest that you see me with on the news and everything. And I was like, Baba, what you think about, me doing a Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball? And he was like, yeah, let's do it, you know. and we took off. Um, my vision was very. What you see is the vision, okay? And he was the person that was in charge of the dancing, the drumming, and the masquerade and everything. Of course, two chefs along with cooks and treats, which is Chef Ish. We were in charge of the food, the cuisine, and the entertainment, which is an African artist who is also connected to Oyutunji, which is the African village in South Carolina, um, Oba Ogunalano. And I felt that that was something that we very much needed because it tells you so much about our culture that we don't discuss or somewhat has been frowned upon. Um, and I think that the reason it has been frowned upon is because what was said to demonize it. But if you are just open to hear and listen, about our ancestors and what they did, what was their culture, I think you'll be more in tune and more connected. Now, the thing is to have this as an annual event here in Savannah, Georgia, as long as God give me breath in my body, and hopefully someone will come up, rise up as I rise up to take over if anything was to happen. One of my children, I'm a mother of 11. One of them will take it and take the torch and finish. But this year is, um, I don't know, it's something about 2024. Okay, and I just felt that I had to step outside of the norm this year to do something uh, more that will bring more awareness and education, and speak to us as a race, as a culture of people, as a community of people here in Savannah, because it's so much that is going on right now that a lot of them don't even realize they're being affected by. Um, so with that being said, I've got the same people on the program, and but then Dr. Uma Johnson, he's also a part of our Igbe. It's called Egungun Igbe, which is the ancestors. Okay. And I reached out to him and I was like, Ifatunde, um, would your schedule allow you to be here in Savannah for the Gullah Geechie Grand African Ball? And he responded back and he said yes. So from that moment, I spoke with the chief of Lakba, Babatunde, and we got on the phone with our brother, Ifatunde, which is Dr. Umar Johnson, and we conversed and we had conversation, right? And he's going to be here. The event is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait. It's about royalty. It's speaking to our divine selves. We need to stop putting the limitation on self. Stop looking for help on the outside when all the help is within. We need to operate our minds. We need to know that the power is in the mind. We are limitless people. We put
Yes.
the caps on us. Um, and I tell people all the time, I'm a force to be reckoned with. I know that. And I know sometimes that can be offensive to some people. But I would never dumb down myself to satisfy someone else's feelings. Because whenever I set my mind on something, I can achieve it. And just like this ball, so many came against me in 2023, 2022, 2023 about this ball. The very first time that it happened here in Savannah, Chatham. Why African ball? Why not? Why we can't have an African ball? We have everything else. You know, why we can't highlight the royalty, the true identity of our ancestors? Why we can't do that? You know, I mean, I had so much scrutiny, so much backlash. But I knew it was gonna be great because anything that's great, the attack, you can expect the attacks. And the same thing for this year. Same thing for this year, you know. But I am moving with grace, with the help of my ancestors to continue to push this through. Um, you can get your tickets here at Two Chefs. You can go on Eventbrite and get your tickets. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to have a good time. Word is going to be spoken. We got the king of Oyotunji going to be in the building again this year. Um, I'm excited. And me being a part of the Egg Bay, you know, it's just so much be released at this ball. Some of it I have never experienced being a part of the Egg Bay. You know, it just unfolded itself. And it's like I'm in a maze. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know. So I can't wait to see what Chief Alakba have planned for us this year. As we roll out the drums of the African beat and the sound of our ancestors coming in the Ralph Mark Given Civil Rights Museum Annex building. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Girl, I'm tingling in my seat just to ask you some questions, girl. So I'm so excited because Dr. Umar Johnson is one of I love him. I absolutely love him. And I wanted to ask you, you know, as a Gullah Geechee person, have you ever thought of doing the name change like he did?
And my name has been changed. My name is Moralayo Akin Renola.
Oh my God, what does it mean?
The warrior has returned to wealth.
Praise God.
I am definitely a warrior.
Yes.
A lot. I have not been released fully yet. I don't know why, but you know, timing is very important. Um, I'll be starting my podcast as well. I'm trying to start it before the African ball, but I don't know because there's so much going on with it, and I'm involved in every part of it. So when I started the podcast, I want it to be on point, not something that I just kind of throw together. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever I put me in, I want all of me in, not part. So, but this warrior has arrived, and the silence is done. It's time for the people to hear my voice. It's time for the people to hear their truth. It's time for my people to know who they are. It's time for my people to know that they have all that they need in them. We came here equipped to survive and live life on this earth without having to go on hands and knees and begging. We don't have to do that. You know, slavery, excuse me, has did some damage, some generational curses. But it's time now for it to be broken because we are now coming into that new age, which we've been in the new age since around 2008, 2009. But we do know coming out of Pisces into the Aquarius, which is the age of knowing and awareness. That's why 2024, you see so much exposure with leaders and people who are not authentic in what they doing or have been doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the truth of who we are as a people, people are, a lot of people don't like the term woke, but a lot of people are waking up. And by the blink of the eye, they're going to be like, oh man, why I ain't been seeing this, you know? So
to your point, 2024 is the covenant year of the dawning of a new day.
All right now.
So if you are a spiritual person in tune to the spirit, in tune to the ancestors, in tune, whatever you have been in tune to, this is the covenant year of the dawning of a new day. That means that the old, don't even look back at the old things, because the new has come. And we are going into a new age.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
everything is going to be new. And my sister, oh my God, it is such a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
And I know, I mean, if you were over here, you in Houston, they would throw out the carpet for you, because your push would never have been. I mean, in Savannah is kind of, even though they are right there in the where the slaves came in.
It's sad, but it gives what it gives.
And but over here, where we have one of the biggest populations of Africans and Caribbeans and all of the Africans get together here. In fact, I attend a church, the Dominion International Center, and we dress up in African wear every Sunday. So, I mean, when I come to your African ball, I'll just be coming in my Sunday gear. I mean, but we celebrate our African heritage every day, and it is just, oh my God, this is just such a pleasure. And I want to get your information, because, I want to invite you over here because I got some ideas, that may open up some new doors, because I see God just, the doors, God will enlarge your territory.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I said this before, because I've always communicate, and I'm like, okay, do I need to leave Savannah?
Look at the answer. See the spirit working against us. Baby, you thinking what I thought too. Listen, tell her, where are you? Tashi said that. You see how the evil spirits work. See how I tell you, Chandra, she just spoke a mouthful. I don't care who hear it. I thought the exact same thing.
Yes.
Out of being beat down and looked at crazy. People don't like it because you ran against your friend. What kind of mess we living in now?
Yes. But she is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And God,
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, that was it. I told her that was
my phone.
Now you said that.
I've been fasting and I've been fasting and praying for the last 17 days, so I've been having new visions and God's been giving me new stuff, so when, so I'm hyped up on what this year, it's going to be phenomenal for all of the visionaries. For all of the people that feel like they've been delayed.
Well, let me go back to Taylor's comment. See that every time we go back to that very top, there you go. Taylor, you said you took the words out of my mouth. I thought about, what if I gotta leave? I'm gonna let you finish that thought. Go ahead and finish that thought for us. You still hear us?
Can you hear us, Taylor?
Taylor. You might have to go in and come back out. Go out. Go ahead and go out. Let me send her thing. Go out. There you go. She'll come back in. But no, even with you, Chandra, I mean, you know all too well what happens when people get mad because you challenge them and they blackball you and the city you up in, and that's okay, and people support that. But you want silver, but it's silver to blackball somebody. Come on, folks.
Yeah.
Pulpit.
But you know what? One thing about it, if God be for me, who can be against me?
Well, I agree.
But
sometimes humans who act like ends need to stop acting like ends. Let's go back to what you were saying earlier when you were talking about, you said, you had this vision. What if you had to depart the city of Savannah? But I'll let you finish that if you don't mind finishing that thought.
Yeah, I've asked because in your own hometown, you can starve. You know what I'm saying? You got so much you can give. I mean, let's give this for an example. During COVID,
See what I'm saying? I'm telling you. There you go. There you're back.
yeah, I don't know what's going on, but that energy, I
tell you
see
what I
you
said
on.
every time about that topic. That's confirmation right there.
My point is this is out of everything that we did for COVID, giving back to the community during the roughest time, a worldwide pandemic, we opened our doors on Saturdays for 8 Saturdays and fed the community for free. And you'll be like, well, dang, why buy? You know what I mean? Miss had Bunny in the city, she came by, she made it her business to make sure that the people in the community it got in the media for us to be seen. But with that being said, I'm not a Christian at all. I'm very spiritual, but I have been a Christian, but I'm not a Christian anymore. Let's make
And I
correction of
appreciate
that.
that statement. People don't understand.
But
People
it
don't
said
understand.
that Jesus was frowned upon in his own home.
There you go.
And
a prophet is without honor in their own country.
Y'all
right, he
talking
had to
on that.
leave to be seen as who he truly were. So I asked that question. I was like, I got so much to give, but they was like, no.
Your volume went out, Taylor.
I think somebody tried to call her.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, your volume went out. Just go back out and come back in. But one thing I do want to highlight, Chandra, you may have not paid attention to. We don't hear you. You gotta go out and come back in. But we're going to close out in 5 minutes anyway. But Taylor also was with us running for city council. She ran for District 2. Did a very good job, held her own. She and Tia Brightwell ran against that guy. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't live there. But anyway, we're going to leave that where that's at. But anyway, really, really great shout out. It's so funny that we juxtaposition what we talked about last week about the unmarked graves and how slaves were are buried, and we're walking over these graves, and this is throughout the South, and we had the mass grave in Jackson, Mississippi, to talking about the warrior has risen to her wealth. That is just so powerful in 1 week, how we have had that journey without walking, right? So that's just been a powerful connection. I mean, I want to hear your comments on that. I mean, that's really powerful to know that despite all of the hell this country creates, despite all of the black folk that don't support black folk and the systems that have created that whole foolishness, we still have hope, So what are your thoughts?
Man, we have to keep hope, because if for black people, we see more reasons to give up than any other race, and for decades, we see how we've been treated in every aspect of our lives, So, this is just another thing, and every time I look at the news, I mean, it's almost like you're not shocked anymore. I mean, some things don't even, I mean, we're getting desensitized to maybe it all, I mean,
I think the problem has become electronics have removed our conscience. We allow Google and artificial intelligence to tell us how to act and behave and to respond. We don't even know how to have conversations. And I mean this in a very broad general sense. We don't even know the value of cultural competence anymore, because this thing right here tells me what to do. We got to step back and realize the humanistic value of things that I think has been so lost in the digital age. I mean, you're exactly right, Chandra. It bothers me when I see young people came at they don't know how to resolve conflict. For God's sakes, they don't even know how to think analytically.
Yeah. Yep.
If this person says do this, I don't even have enough mindset. And we got city leaders like this. I don't even have enough mindset to think through, why did they tell me to do this? And are they, come on. So we lost all sense of being, so.
Yeah. But Taylor, I'm going to be starting my show on the 15th, and it's called Let's Talk About It. And,
all right.
It's about all the things, we're going to be able to discuss anything and everything we were never allowed to talk about,
right.
That they told us, shh, just pack it away. If we don't talk about it, it didn't happen,
right.
So racism, slavery, whatever we want to talk about, whatever we want to talk about as women,
exactly.
All the things that we never were allowed to talk about, even as Black women, all the things that we have to pack away in our suitcases of secrecy,
and
carry around in our Erykah Badu bags, That's what I'm going to be talking about every week. And, just with different women, bold women that's, just willing to step from behind the shades and say, hey, I got something to talk about. Let's talk about it.
Right. We need it.
Yeah. And we'll share we'll share our ideas. They'll share their opinion, and we'll talk about it. So I would love for you to come and just share whatever is on your heart, and, let's talk about it.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
It's time for the mind to be liberated. We got to release those clutches that's on us.
Yes.
We can't put the responsibility on nobody else now. The time is us now,
Yes.
So,
We do have to be more self-reliant. And if Dr. Omar Johnson has done anything, he has empowered us all, to say, let's stop waiting for the white saviors.
Well,
okay.
and honestly, and we're going to close out with this, two pieces of information I think that we need to use more often in our community, and that's the principles of Kwanzaa and the use of Adinkra symbols or Sankofa symbols. If you tie those things really well, I mean, and nobody's going to be perfect. We're all going to make our mistakes, but you understand the value of the Kwanzaa principles and the ideology of Sankofa and the Adinkra symbols. Just go Google and see what I'm talking about. All right, so we'll be back next Saturday. I guess Julius may put you back on the show. I don't know. That's your contract. I don't know, but I think next week we'll have a dynamic discussion. I think y'all just hold on. I think we have a guy from the Rabble, Uncle Sean. I think we're going to be talking about how some men lean into their feminine side and do some feminine presenting things that we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a lively conversation. because we are going to make sure that whatever, like I used to tell my daddy, I am a diversity, equity, and inclusion professional by trade. It is in my bones. You are not going to discriminate, say anything offensive, or talk about a community because you don't understand it. So we're going to understand it next week. Y'all join us.
Send me the link. I want to come.
I will. All right. We'll see you next Saturday at noon.
Okay.
All right, then.
like this.